Have you ever had that chilling moment when the man you married seems more interested in absolutely anything but you? The TV remote, the dog, his job, the neighbor, anything but you. That crushing disappointment is real and it stings. And I'm going to show you how to turn it around fast. Fair warning, this podcast is going to make you fall back in love with your husband. Whether you're exhausted from carrying everything and just want him to step up and be a real partner, or you're lonely and aching to feel close and adored again, you're in exactly the right place. I'm Laura Doyle, New York Times bestselling author and creator of the 6 Intimacy Skills. For 25 years, I've had a front row seat watching women go from burnt out and disconnected to having the passionate, easy marriage they always wanted. Love is learnable. The secrets are real. And this is where I teach them. So glad you're here. Today, we're talking about what to do when your husband is not attracted to you, why it's probably not what you think, and how to solve the real problem. I still remember when John was more interested in watching TV reruns than he was in spending time with me, even making love to me. He was just not interested. I'd cry myself to sleep at night because it was so discouraging. And I know I'm not alone. Women have shared similar stories with me for years. And this is a pain that so many of us go through. So if you can relate right now, you're not alone. Here's what's easy to think when you're in that pain. Either you're married to the wrong guy or something about you has changed. Your weight, your age, your post-baby body. And you think, if I just looked better, he'd want me again. I thought the same thing. But how you look is just not the issue. It wasn't for me. And after working with thousands of women, I can tell you it's never the real issue for them either. Something else entirely was going on in my marriage. And once I discovered what it was, getting those butt pats and bedroom eyes back was actually pretty easy, with a lot of other great benefits along the way. Here's what I did. Number 1, I stopped acting like his mother. Men are not sexually attracted to their mothers, and they're not attracted to women who act like their mothers either, even supermodels. That was exactly who I had unwittingly become, his mom. I didn't think it was a big deal to buy his underwear, remind him not to forget his wallet, or tell him he was watching too much TV. I thought I was being helpful. I even joked about it with friends. I have one child, I'd say. He's 38. My friends completely understood. We'd commiserate about how we had to treat our husbands like children because they acted like children. One friend had to inform her husband that there was a building near their house where you could purchase food. It's called a grocery store, she told him. Dead serious. Another had to tell her husband when to get a haircut. She said she had to lay down the law. Another one made all his doctor and dentist appointments and woke him up for work every morning like a human alarm clock. We all figured this was just part of being a wife, right? But my husband started avoiding me, and I felt lonely and rejected and resentful because I was doing everything and getting so little back. So if I'm honest, I wasn't very attracted to him either, just like mothers aren't attracted to their sons. This attraction we both felt when we were falling in love had completely broken down, and it had nothing to do with how I looked. Number 2, I went back to being the girl of fun and light. When I started recognizing the mothering dynamic at my house clearly, I had to face something uncomfortable. I was the one who had changed. When we were dating, I wasn't acting like his mom. I was flirting. I was laughing at his jokes. I was smiling at him. I was thanking him for taking me out. I was admiring him. And back then, he couldn't keep his hands off me. So maybe he hadn't changed as much as I thought. I decided to start a smile campaign. Every time he walked through the door, I smiled at him. That's it. Something shifted almost immediately. He started smiling back. And then he was trying to make me laugh. And then I was giggling. And then I was dancing around the house, singing, just because I felt happy. I looked exactly the same physically, But somehow I seemed like a completely different woman to him. Next thing I knew, he was all hands again, just like the glory days. Number 3, I decided to trust him. Even after all this, I still couldn't figure out how to actually step back from the mother role that I had volunteered for. Resigning felt terrifying. I mean, what would happen if I stopped managing everything? Holy underwear? No doctor's appointments? Trash piled to the ceiling? TV on 24/7? But I was so exhausted and I was lonely. So I decided to just experiment anyway. He's a fully capable adult, brilliant at work, competent in the world. So I told myself there is at least a possibility that he can handle the things I've been taking over. So I stopped. I stopped doing things for him that he could do for himself. I stopped reminding, managing, instructing. I treated him like a man who didn't need any help. And he stepped up. He took care of business like the grown man he is. He didn't do things my way. And I was sorely tempted to explain why my way was better. But every time I did, I slipped right back into the mom role. So I let it go. And he started patting my butt again and making bedroom eyes at me, stealing a kiss whenever he could. Not because I lost weight, not because I had the right beauty regimen, not because I changed how I looked. I didn't. It was because I stopped being his mother and started being his wife. And I'll be honest, it wasn't easy for me to give up my mothering ways at first. It seems like micromanaging and controlling are kind of my personality. I'd ask John if he thought I was too controlling, and he'd say, "Bam, no ma'am." So I came up with a whole system and wrote a book called The Empowered Wife about how I went back to being the relaxed, happy woman he fell in love with. I'm not the only one. Thousands of women who've made this shift, who decided they'd rather be their husband's lover than his mother, have had the same experience. The passion comes back, sometimes hotter than ever. Have you used the 6 intimacy skills to turn your relationship around? I would love to hear your story. And so would thousands of listeners. Come be my guest on the Empowered Wife podcast and help us end world divorce one transformation at a time. Go to lauradoyle.org/podcast guest to apply. I can't wait to meet you. If today's episode gave you something useful, subscribe so I can share the rest of the intimacy skills with you. And if you have a girlfriend who needs to hear this, please share it with her. You might just change her marriage. I'm Laura Doyle. See you next time.